Hello guys, my name is Pradeep Patel, uh, senior ReactJS developer, and I'm from Sufalam Technologies. In today's session, we will learn how to implement one-tap Google login with ReactJS. So Google provide a new entity identifier services for one-tenth login to prevent security concern and also to easier the login process for web application. So before we starting to the implementation, first let's check why to choose one-tap Google login. So basically, sign in with Google one-tap uses secure token rather than login credential. So in an earlier version, where user have to put down their email address and login information, password to sign in with the Google. So after use of one tap, all the things will be removed. Just use token for sign in and sign up processes. An easy sign in process mean to help user reduce the pressure of picking convenience over security when deciding on another password for a web application. So mostly when any user switch to any web application, then the question is that user have to remember the password for the website. So Google is helping the user to sign in with that process and no need for another password. Another thing is that user can sign in or sign up using just one step. So user don't have to remember the credential, remember the which account they have used previously. So it's helpful for the end user. Easy flow increase the sign in with existing user and sign up for new users. So basically, after the using of one tap Google login, in the many e-commerce application confirm that their user increase by in very fast up to 100% or more than 100% in few after the launch of one tap Google. Another thing is that user can sign in or sign up anywhere in the web application. It also work after session expired. So that means that the sign in button which was used previously is limited to the login screen and user must have to go for the login page. But after implementation of one tap Google login, user can sign in or sign up from any web pages which is showing, and we can also prevent with public and private route. Another thing is that after the session will be expired, so user can also do login. Manual sign up or switching accounts occur only after the user has first signed it out of your website. So that means that if the user is new and the browser the user have not signed it in the Google account, so he have to sign up first in the Google account. So then after he will directly log in it for the web application. Another thing is that one tap Google login also work with sign in with Google button. So you can use sign in with Google in the login page as well as you can use one tap in the another pages. Okay, so how to implement one tap in ReactJS? So to implement one tap Google login, majorly there are 3 steps. So first one is to create a Google API client ID. So after that, we have to implement an Google library. It's a Google account library which will used for all kind of Google operations like login, map APIs, everything. And then after we have to initialize the pop-up button for the one tap. Okay, so let's check out one by one how to implement. So the thing is that after the point, we have to go for a client ID, which is from Google console. So basically you need an developer console for Google APIs. So I provided the link to sign up flow where the user have to create an credential, and after the providing some information, the user will get the client ID. So I have mentioned the step for how to create an client ID. So basically user have to go for a Google API console, then how to select a project. If the project is already created for other services, the same project we can use for one type Google login. If the user is not created any project, and he have to create another project, you can click on the new project and provide the details. So after that, user have to go for a create credential page and have to configure consent screen, provide some details like a domain, then the security concern, callback, some kind of field. After the clicking on the create button, the client ID and client secret will be created successfully, and you can click on the copy button. So you can directly use that in the application. So after creating a Google client ID in Google console, after that you have to implement an script, a JavaScript library, which is accounts.google.com GSI, which is used for all kind of Google APIs in JavaScript. So I provided the link here, so you can put it in the index.html file directly, or if you want to manually create the script dynamically, programmatically, so you can do both kind of stuff for that. I have also put down the code. We will check out in next slide for how to dynamically load this script. Okay, so the major thing is that due to security risk, the JavaScript client library is only supported on the latest 2 version of each browser. So yes, so versioning issue will be faced here. Okay, after initializing the JavaScript client library, we have to display an prompt which is used for sign in or sign up. Okay, so here is the script where we have to provide the client ID, and the sign in with Google prompt will be directly showing on your web application. Okay, in the screen we will show which browsers are supported by the Google. So there are only 2 browsers mainly. We will block the things in iOS. Okay, so after that we will check out the example. So how to create an example, and I have put the same code in the GitHub, so we will find it also. So first of all, we have to load the JavaScript library. So as I mentioned earlier, we have to load the Google client library for the services. So you can use this code to load the library, and where you have to put down the client ID. So the current ID is a random keyword, so you cannot use this, but yes, you will have to check out for your own client ID. So after that, when you click on the login button, the callback will be given by the application, and you will get the user's data. So I have created one function where the response will be provided from the Google, and we can use below details from the Google, and we can use as per our need. Another thing is that after the response, all the things will be based on the token. So as the first point, we have to decode that token. So there is a predefined function which I have used for passing. So after that, we can use that and we can get the data of the particular user. Okay, so after implementing this example, the one-tap Google login will be shown like at the right corner of the screen, like sign in into Sufalam. So my project name is Sufalam Demo. So it's written by here. If your project name is like my app, then my app will be shown there, and the current user login with the will be also shown here. If there are multiple logins, then all other logins will be displayed as this. So another output will be if you don't have existing login user, then this kind of one-type pop-up will be shown that use your O1 Google account to sign in into Sufalam Tech demo web application. So by clicking on the continue button, there is another pop-up will be prompted, and we have to provide the email address and password for the Google account login, and then the sign in will be completed. Okay, so there are also security concerns while implementing one-tap. Basically, the main point is that Google one-tap only works on HTTPS domain, so it will not work on the HTTP. Due to security risks, JavaScript client library only support to latest version of each browser, so almost later version must be required for one-tap login. Another thing is that do not cover Google one-tap by any other content. So basically, if any content like any pop-up or any hover effect will cover a pixel of the content, then the security risk will be there, and the Google one-tap prompt is not displayed. One-tap Google login is not configured to work on a private window. Yes, the thing is that the Google client library will work only on the main window, and that requires cookie. So and the current in some browsers current version in private window, third party cookies are blocked by default blockade. So when you use web application in private window, then one-tap Google login may not be displayed. Okay, so here is our example on our GitHub account where you can check out and find the example. Okay, thank you so much. Follow us on social media. Thank you.